today's panel, The Spirit of Place, a dialogue between phenomenology and organic architecture. Our goal today is to bridge theory and experience, thought and design. We'll examine how two great minds, Christian Norberg-Schulz and Lloyd Wright, approach the same fundamental question. How can architecture express the relationship between humans and the world they inhabit? Both thinkers remind us that architecture is not just the act of constructing walls or roofs. It's about giving meaning to our existence, shaping how we live, and making us feel that we belong somewhere. Schulz guides us through the phenomenology of place, understanding the lived experience of being in a specific environment. Wright, on the other hand, shows us how that experience can take form, how a building can grow naturally from its surroundings. Throughout this discussion, our guests will interpret these ideas, connect them to real examples, and explore what they mean for the practice of architecture today. Each of them will bring a unique voice, showing how philosophy and design intertwine to shape our environments. Let's start by calling our guests today, shall we? And our first guest for today is Miss Ezgi. Hello, Miss Ezgi. Welcome to our program. Thanks for taking our invitation. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for taking our invitation once again. It's very good to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me. I am very happy to be here.
Oh, that pleasure is ours. And our next guest for today is Miss Dameli.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to our program. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, thank you. Thanks for taking our invitation and accepting it. And let's invite our next guest, Mr. Tez here with us.
Hi.
Hello, welcome to our program, Mr. Tez.
Hi, hello. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet
Nice to
you.
meet you.
Thank you.
Welcome to our program. Thanks for taking our invitation. It's a pleasure to have you in here.
Ah, nice.
Thank you.
I'm really happy to see you.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. And our fourth guest for today is Miss Aigerim.
Hello everyone.
Hello. Welcome to our program.
Thank
How are you today?
I'm fine. Thank you. What about you?
We're so happy to see you, actually. Thanks for taking our invitation. It's a pleasure to have you here. And our fifth and final guest for today, Miss Dina.
Hello everyone.
Hello, welcome to our program.
Nice to
How are you
meet
today? Nice to meet you too.
I'm fine with you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to see you in here. And let's start our program, shall we? Let's start with our first topic. Ms. Ezgi, could you start by explaining what he means by the spirit of place?
Certainly, for Schulz, every architectural act begins with understanding place. A place is not a void waiting to be filled with design. It already has a life, a character, a routine. It consists of materials, colors, sounds, smells, and memories. It has a personality of its own, sometimes calm, sometimes vibrant, always distinct. When Schulz speaks of the life world, he refers to the complete environment we inhabit daily. The quiet of early morning streets, the murmur of conversations in courtyard, the movement of light through narrow alley, all of that shape or perception of belonging. Architecture that ignores this context becomes hollow, detached from human experience.
So, if I understand correctly, architecture becomes a kind of language, a way to express meaning and identity. It's not only about creating form, but about interpreting what already exists.
Exactly. The architectural responsibility to reveal what is already present in the spirit of the site. Not to impose a foreign logic upon it. A successful building doesn't shut off for attention. It feels inevitable as tough, it's belong there. Good architecture listens before it speaks. It reasons with its surrounding like an echo of landscape left. When we respect the genius loci, the spirit of place, we create environments, the comfort of us, inspire us. and remind us who we are. Without the connection, architecture becomes anonymous, detached and meaningless, just wells without soul.
Thank you, Ms. Ezgi, for that insightful explanation. You've shown us how phenomenology helps architecture rediscover meaning through lived experience. Now let's delve deeper into the philosophical roots of this idea. Ms. Dameli, could you tell us more about the concept of dwelling and how it relates to the spirit of place once again?
Of course, Schulz's notion of dwelling comes directly from Martin Heidegger's philosophy. To dwell, Martin says, is to be at peace in a place, to belong to feel at home in the world. It's really a simple yet profound idea that we are not just in places, we become ourselves through them. Architecture then is not a technical art, just it's the physical, how can you say it, embodiment of the belonging. And it allows us to dwell poetically on the earth, to live in harmony with elements that sustain us. And to dwell means to be grounded, to have a sense of orientation, to feel that the world around us speaks a language we understand. Schulz beautifully describes how a true work of architecture gathers opposites. It brings together earth and sky, inside and outside, and nature and culture. A house, for instance, is not only a shelter, but a stage where light, air, and memory interact. It gives form to the rhythm of life itself. Every morning, light entering through a window, every shadow cast by the setting sun becomes part of the building's story.
That's a beautiful way to describe it. So, in different geographies, the feeling of dwelling changes. A northern landscape might evoke stillness and solitude, while a Mediterranean countryside expresses warmth and openness.
Exactly. Each place has its own atmosphere that shapes our emotions and behavior. To design with the genius lucide is recognize and respect these differences. It means building with the landscape, not against it. The architect becomes a mediator, transiting the spirit of the land into form and material. When architects ignore these spaces, feel generic. They could be anywhere and therefore belong nowhere. But when design emerges from the character of the place, its light, its science, and its texture, architecture becomes rooted, artistic, and timeless. It becomes something that only shelters the body, but also nurtures the soul.
Thank you, Ms. Dameli. You captured the essence of dwelling as an act of belonging. Now, let's turn to another great thinker who translated this philosophy into practice. Mr. Tez, could you tell us how Lloyd Wright's concept of organic architecture embodies the spirit of place in built form?
Lovely. And you know what is the differences? If Schulz gives us the philosophy, Wright gives us the craft. For Lloyd Wright, architecture was a living organism, something that grows naturally from its environment. He called this vision organic architecture. And it was far more than a style. It was a philosophy of life itself. And he believed that the form and the function are one inseparable. The form of a building must evolve naturally from its use, its materials, and its size. He often compared architecture to nature. A tree, for example, doesn't decide its shape randomly. Its form comes from the sun, the the wind, the soil, and gravity. Wright wanted building to behave the same way, as if they were born from the earth that holds them. He also emphasized the honesty of materials. Wood should look like and feel like a wood. Stone should remain a stone. By respecting materials, we respect the nature itself. He detested imitation, he states. We may use the material creatively, but never deceitfully. For Wright, to fake a material was to betray the every essence of creation.
And falling water really shows that, doesn't it? The way it literally grows out of the rock, hovering above the waterfall, yet completely part of the landscape.
Yes, exactly. The fallen water isn't placed on nature. It becomes nature. The sound of the water, the shifting light, the stone texture, everything blends. He once said, a building should be off the hill, not on the hill. That single sentence captures his entire philosophy of belonging. You can feel the house breathing with the forest, singing with the stream beneath it. His work invites us to see architecture as an extension of life, not a human invasion of nature, but a continuum of it. The boundary between inside and outside dissolves, and architecture becomes a living, breathing experience. It is in such works that we feel that architecture and nature are not two separate entities, but partners in a harmonious dance.
Thank you, Mr. Tess, for connecting theory with such vivid examples.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You've shown us how architecture can grow from earth itself, how spirit becomes structure.
That's true.
Yeah, now to synthesize that with what we heard so far, let's hear from our philosopher of synthesis, Miss Dina, how the phenomenology of the organism come together in practice.
Listening to all of you, it becomes clear that Schulz and Wright are not opposites but partners in the same conversations. Schulz gives us the way, the existential understanding of place and human identity. Wright gives us the how, the practical expression of that meaning through from form and material. Both refuse the idea of architecture as a neutral object. Instead, they see it as living dialogue between human and environment, between mind and matter. A good building doesn't just occupy space, it shapes how we feel, how we remember, and how we connect to the world. It influences our mood, our memories, even our sense of time. In both philosophies, the architect becomes a listener, someone who interprets what the land, culture, or materials are trying to say. Design, in this sense, is not invention, but revelation. It reveals the spirit as already there. A great architect is like a poet who translates silence into structure. When philosophy and design meet, when phenomenology meets organism, architecture becomes something poetic. It's no longer only a shelter, it's a language, it's a story, and a celebration of life. It's poetry written in stone, wood, and light, an art that brings thought, emotion, and the matter into the continuous experience.
Thank you for that elegant synthesis. You brought the conversation full circle from understanding the spirit of place to expressing it through organic design. Let's now bring all our speakers together for some final reflections. So, guys, what we have learned from this dialogue, perhaps that architecture's true purpose is to reconnect humans with their world, to help us dwell meaningfully again. In a time when many buildings feel disconnected from their context, both Wright and Schulz remind us that true design begins with belongings.
Yes, Schulz teaches us to read places, to sense their atmosphere, the memory and their identity. He reminds us that every site has a story waiting to be heard and the architect's task.
It's to give that story from without silencing it.
And Wright shows us how to build with that story, how to transform the invisible character of a place into visible form. When nature and structure coexist, architecture feels alive. The result is not merely a building, but a living landscape of experience.
A well-designed building doesn't just rest on the ground, it belongs to it. To build is to dwell, and to dwell is to belong. When design grows out of its environment, architecture transcends functionality and becomes philosophy in form.
Architecture, at its best, is a dialogue between human and nature, between matter and spirit, between space and time. It not only teaches us how to live, but how to be. And it reminds us that dwelling is not about possession, but about presence.
And perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all, that every act of architecture, when done with awareness and humility, becomes an act of belonging. Yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for every single one of you to come here and bring us this beautiful program together.
Thank you for the invitation.
Oh no, it's our pleasure. It's so much. Thank you.
Really nice to be here. And
It was, right?
Yeah, it's really
It was.
nice.
It's a very helpful program.
I'm really happy to
believe,
discuss these kind of topics.
with those wonderful people around
Yes,
us.
yes.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you.
And yes, like I said, that's it for today. Until the next time, be safe and take care of yourselves. I'm Arif Bolat. I was the host in this project.
Hello, my name is Dameli Baimurzina and I was one of the guests.
I'm Dina Mamyrkhan and I'm a guest.
I'm Aigerim Omirserik. I was one of the guests.
I'm Onur Tezişçi and I was a guest of this presentation.
I'm Ezgi Öztürk. I was one of the guests.
I'm Ömer, Furkan, Savaş, and I was the cameraman of this video.